What an honor to be here today, welcoming to the PRIME Global Forum, the United Nations' largest initiative on responsible leadership education. And thank you so much to all of you for being here today in the virtual space of the conference. PRIME has since 2007 been on a mission to transform leadership education. It has been 14 years of unstoppable and dedicated work from an ever still growing and hardworking community of educators, professors, researchers, business leaders, and not least students. With a mandate from the UN Secretary General to inspire and support leadership education around the world, and with a strong support from our colleagues in the UN Global Compact, we are developing new collaborations to engage business and business education. Today, we are a community where deans from more than 860 business schools, universities around the world have signed on their commitment to support PRIME's mission. And this provides us with a network of around 200,000 faculty and a network of 3 million students on an ever ongoing basis enrolled in our schools. This offers a huge potential to transform management education, and it comes with a huge responsibility. And what an honor for me to serve as the global head of PRIME over the past year. 1 year has passed since I stepped into the role as head of PRIME on May 1st, 2020. And I'm sincerely grateful to look back on the past year's huge support from each one of you. Our collective journey to transform management education has never been more important, and I'm happy to say has never had more momentum. In the midst of a global pandemic, urgent environmental disasters, and increasing inequalities on all fronts of the world, we experience a dedicated support for PRIME and our mission to transform business by transforming how business is taught. I think it's fair to say that a lot of good progress has happened over the past 12 months. PRIME has a new global board with 16 deans, professors, experts, business leaders, and a student from all around the world. And I can tell you they are a true working board, each one of them. Significantly, the board is chaired by Ilian Mihov, Dean at INSEAD, and Vice Chair Tima Bansal, Professor at IWE Canada and Executive Director of the NBS Network. I'll just mention a few highlights from the past 12 months. As many of you will know, PRIME has engaged and been invited to engage severely in the UN Global Compact strategy process over the past half year. And one of the many concrete results I'm very happy to say is that we have agreed with the UN Global Compact to organize all qualifying higher education institutions in the Global Compact to PRIME. So this means that PRIME will be the one entry point for all higher education institutions interested in engaging with the work of the UN Global Compact, the 10 principles, and the Sustainable Development Goals. This will result in a small but significant growth for PRIME. Also, in January this year, we introduced a single mandatory fee. And I'm very happy to say that within the first 4 months of this year, 50% of all PRIME signatories have paid the fee, and we just started to send out reminders. Again, an evidence of the support even in the midst of a pandemic globally. This will provide a stable platform for PRIME for our growth globally, but also locally. Over the past year, we've also revised the structure and governance of PRIME chapters, and we've established a PRIME Global Chapter Council with 2 deans and 2 professors who will support the chapter development. And as an implication, we've already this year welcomed 3 new PRIME chapters. Chapter Africa, led by Professor Sami Bonsu from Gimpa, Ghana. Chapter China, led by Haifeng Huang from Peking University. And Poland chapter chaired by Agnieszka Dumanska from Warsaw School of Economics. And we re-established the PRIME chapter Iberia, chaired by Luis Vega Martins, Nova School of Business and Economics. Warm welcome to PRIME. We have also established new PRIME working groups, re-established one and launched a new one. We have relaunched the Business and Human Rights under new leadership from Dore Baumann-Polly, University of Lausanne, and Mike Posner, New York University. Also, a new working group on sustainable finance has been launched, and we have here Professor Megan Kashner and Dave Chen from Kellogg School of Management. Warm welcome to you as well. Following the new strategy recommended in 2019, we are now spearheading an action process where Viva Idea have generously pro bono invited and will lead a global consultative process. Many of you will be engaged to provide input to Prime's future direction. I'm very excited about this. Finally, before I welcome our Prime Chair for an introductory remark, I have some very exciting news to share with you. This Monday, only 2 days ago, we received the confirmation from the LEGO Foundation that Prime is awarded a generous grant of $6 million by the LEGO Foundation for us to develop holistic skill set in leadership education. The grant is to be delivered over a 3-year period, and it is the single largest grant awarded to the UN Global Compact family. It will be used to further enhance Prime's work in equipping today's business students to deliver the innovative solutions that are needed to transform the private sector tomorrow towards a more equitable and sustainable world. So I'm very excited about the Impactful 5, as we call the project, the Impactful 5 Learning in Leadership Education. It will build on prior LEGO Foundation research and expertise to develop and pilot pedagogical approaches for holistic skill set development. And John Goodwin, the CEO of the LEGO Foundation, sends his greetings to all here today and to the Prime community, and to let us know that the LEGO Foundation is thrilled to have the opportunity to work with Prime to explore how our research and learnings in holistic skill development can be adapted to the skill set needed. So I'm, of course, personally absolutely thrilled to receive such generous support from the LEGO Foundation, itself a global role model on education and sustainable development. And I believe that this grant will significantly serve to advance Prime's strategic mission on transformative leadership and to drive the collective impetus we need to achieve the sustainable development goals. Over the summer, we will be developing a plan and a structure for this new exciting Prime LEGO project. Personally, I cannot wait to get started and to work with you on this project. The press release can be found on the Prime website right now. So now on this happy note and exciting future for Prime, I'm truly privileged and pleasured to welcome you here today to a 2 days, 3 parts virtual conference. We already sneak peeked a little big time yesterday with 2 amazing panels at the UN Global Compact's Leader Summit, with cutting-edge debates on leadership education, and another panel on the need for bringing sustainability into the finance classroom. And again this year, we have 2 Western and 1 Eastern parts to accommodate for time zones around the world. And I think it's fair to say that at this Prime Global Forum, we have an extraordinarily exciting program with 50 sessions, keynote speeches, Prime Dean's Dialogue, panel debates, introduction of our new Prime Global Chapter Council, focus on Prime activities such as our SDG blueprint by our champions, and our Prime working groups are also having sessions to show their amazing work. And then we invite you all to visit the pavilions and hopefully to do some networking in between the many sessions, which we have allowed for in the program. This year, you will also find a specific focus on students, and not like we usually do, us talking about students. This year, we actually have the students with us at the conference, perhaps even talking about us, and of course themselves, their aspirations, and their agency and action in the roles as students. So I'm very happy about this new focus at the Prime Global Forum, and also for this to be a starting point for putting much more focus on students as we go into the future. So we will also have a number of important launches today and tomorrow, and we will of course have start with the launch of PGS, Prime Global Students, and which is a coalition of students from around the world, student organizations around the world we've been working on for the past 6 months. We have now a new steering committee only with students, I'm happy to say, from all continents of the world. We also have launching a new partnership with 2 international academic journals, Journal of Business Ethics and Business and Society, and I'm very excited about this new partnership. We have a session on that today as well, Meet the Editors session. I'm also very pleased to say that we will today launch the new Prime, or not the new, but the revamped Prime blog, where 2 professors of management education with an editorial team of around 10 people are revamping the Prime blog. The Prime blog has been wonderfully organized for the past many years. Now we will have a new spirit with a bit of an activist streak, they promised me, and also with an ambition of engaging business leader audience. We will also proudly be launching the PIR, Positive Impact Rating 2020 results. We will be doing that tomorrow. I'm also very excited about hosting this launch. And tomorrow we will also hear the first results of the visioning of the Prime SIP report, work that has been going on tremendously over the past 6 years, introducing a new SIP logic. Finally, we will have 2 new awards, a faculty and a student award, plus our 3 SIP awards tomorrow. It's a little bit of a cornucopia and abundance of only good things. I hope that you, like me, remain immensely proud and supportive of Prime and our collective journey ahead. There's much to be said and much to be done still. So I remain thankful for your continued support, and I will now proudly introduce Ilian Mihov as our next speaker. So Ilian Mihov is the chair of the Prime board, but also Dean of INSEAD. Warm welcome, Ilian, to you. I'm so happy to welcome you here at the Global Forum and to welcome our deans, professors, students, business, and people working in higher education. Over the past year, I've worked closely with you as in my capacity as head of Prime, and it has been a true pleasure. And I want to say that you brought a new tone from the top of Prime, setting new aspirations and high-level ambitions, pushing us to take the leadership education to its next level. I'm very thankful for that. Warm welcome.
Thank you very much, Mette. Thank you for these wonderful words and for summarizing all these great things that you and the Secretariat have done in the past year. I want to start by welcoming the participants in our Prime Global Forum 2021. I'm very happy to see you all here on the screen. I'm calling in from Singapore. You know that the Prime movement is gaining global traction, attention, support. As you just heard from Mette's comments, introductory comments. And to me, it feels like a really opportune and very important moment in time so that we can step up leadership education. At the end of the day, education are thousands, probably even millions of students graduating every year from our business schools and universities is the one single most important contribution to society that we do. The other equally important contribution, of course, is research. No need to mention to the Prime audience here today that high quality education and high quality research come hand in hand. I hope you're all safe and healthy around the world participating in Prime's annual flagship event. So as Mette, for nearly a year now, actually tomorrow I think is my anniversary, I've been working as chair of the Prime board for 1 year, together with 15 other truly dedicated deans, professors, business leaders, experts, and 1 student. Back then, a year ago, obviously I was honored and excited to be appointed by the UN Global Compact CEO and Executive Director to take on this prestigious role as chair of the board of the world's largest UN initiative on responsible management education. I was also aware that is actually a role that comes with a lot of responsibility. Today, when we look at the world in this kind of increasingly polarized world with struggles among different market, non-market ideologies of political, social, economic truths, we must train our students to distinguish for themselves. They must learn to understand the implications of climate change, increasing inequalities in all forms, the importance of dealing with poverty, with hunger, and all these other issues that were raised in the 17 SDGs. So I took on an exciting and a challenging assignment, not exactly sure where it would take Prime, but with the strong belief about the need in the world for an organization like Prime, and with a very strong confidence that the Interim Management Council, under the leadership of Professor and President Danica Purk from the Blatt School of Management, had prepared the building blocks for Prime to reset and take off in the year to come. So today, a year later, I'm actually very proud of what we have achieved in the past 12 months. Of course, the credit goes to Mette and her team, but also to the board and all the members of the board who have been not a supervisory board, but as Mette said, a truly working board, committing time, effort, committing all their passion to this amazing project. Now that we have a truly working global Prime board with board members representing all continents of the world, we actually have to figure out how to take Prime to the next level and make it a global movement with much potential for future growth. So again, Mette mentioned a lot of the things that have happened. From my perspective, I must say that what I have seen in the past 12 months is a lot of momentum being built in. And I think that we had to do a lot of work in the background, and I'm not sure that people from outside can see everything that has been done. But I can tell you that the energy, the enthusiasm, the passion, the excitement about the future of Prime is very, very inspirational and encouraging. So let me just mention two things which I think are quite important. We see a continued growth in Prime signatory schools, as Mette mentioned. And part of this was also this strategic agreement with the United Nations Global Compact decision to transfer all of the higher education institutions that are not part of Prime to actually sign up with Prime. So we are now the designated arm of higher education for the UN Global Compact, and we're proud to be just that. For us, substantial collaborative efforts between business engagement and business schools are needed for the world to transform to a more just and sustainable world. So we actually expect that probably by 2022, Prime signatory business schools universities will reach, hopefully exceed 1,000. It will be a milestone for us, seeing this incredible growth in our organization. Of course, all of these things are done so that we can deliver value to our members, so that we can lead to a transformation of management education. We serve as a platform where our members can exchange ideas, learn from each other, can network, and can generate new ideas together. We need to ensure that our students are equipped to address the global challenges, the big problems that the world is facing today, places where we need to address all these global and transnational challenges. But an urgent need to make our students aware that these challenges of environmental disasters and raising inequalities do not stop and cannot be eradicated at the border of the company or the border of your country. These are global problems and they need global solution. And Prime is placed in a very important position to bring together entities from all over the world and create this important global network. The second thing that I want to mention again, and Mette mentioned this briefly, is that we see the increase in the chapters around the world. So we have 4 new MOUs with Chapter China. I want to thank Professor Huafeng Huang from Peking University for helping us create the Chapter China. In Africa, Professor Semi Bonsu from Gimba Institute of Management and Public Administration in Ghana, creating Chapter Africa. We have also Chapter Poland with Professor Agnieszka Damanska in Poland, and then Chapter Iberia with Executive Director Luis Vega Martins for Spain and Portugal. Thank you all for your efforts to help us grow the Prime network. As Mette mentioned, there is increasing recognition of Prime's chapter work, the working groups and the Prime champions. And there is actually a very impressive SIP Impact Review Subcommittee. It's a group of 14 globally based Prime supporters who have joined forces so that actually we can revise our SIP, our sharing information on progress reports. So it actually, they really contribute to the development of each institution, of each member. This work will be very important in the coming year, and I hope that next year when we gather together for our forum, we'll be able to report significant progress. And last but not least, I want to thank Mette for her incredible work to increase fundraising. In fact, that is one of the priorities for us in the coming years. With the Lego Foundation donation, this absolutely generous donation to Prime, we will be able to serve our students, our members much better, and to raise the quality to a new level. Ending this brief welcoming note, I want to add a sincere congratulations to the Prime movement. And I have all that we have supported and experienced this past year. I want to thank all of you who have been helpful in this process. So now I want to wish you a wonderful, productive, and very inspiring Prime Global Forum 2021. Now back to you, Mette.
Ilian, thank you so much for these wonderful introductory remarks from you and from all your support over the past year and into the next years. And also thank you for keep pushing us and for keeping me on my toes all the time. We are working hard under your leadership, and we think it also pays off. So thank you very much for being there for Prime. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Sanda Udyambo. Sanda is the CEO and Executive Director of the United Nations Global Compact since June 2020. And Sanda, you and I actually stepped into the UN Global Compact lobby downstairs on the exact same morning in September 2020, when we were first day in the office during the pandemic. And it has been a true pleasure to meet you, and it has been a wonderful journey liaising with you and being with you on your tour de force, where you with excellent strategic competences have set a new tone and a new way forward for how Global Compact engages in general, but indeed and importantly with Prime. So thank you for your huge support for Prime already. Warm welcome to Prime Global Forum. Over to you, Sanda.
Thank you, Mette, and thank you for recalling that moment in September 2020, when I think both of us made the bold move to actually relocate to New York amidst the pandemic and drive forward the important work that the institutions both do. First, congratulations on that award. Immense work I'm sure has gone into it, and I wish you and the Prime community all the best as you embark on your journey. So allow me to give some formal comments. Distinguished guests, students, faculty, and colleagues in the Prime community, it's truly a great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 2021 Virtual Prime Global Forum. A year ago, as Mette has mentioned, I too was new to role, welcome participant to the first Virtual Prime Forum, just as I was starting my new job as the CEO and Executive Director of the United Nations Global Compact. Since then, I've learned even more and experienced more about the principles for responsible management education and this initiative's enormous potential to enhance business responsibility and sustainability. I'm delighted to know that so many of you are joining us from all corners of the world as participants in both the UN Global Compact Leaders Summit as well as the Prime Global Forum. Your commitment is truly inspiring, and your involvement is crucial because higher education is absolutely key to delivering results in this decade of action on the Sustainable Development Goals. And I'm keenly aware of the important work that Prime is doing to instill sustainability mindsets and skill sets in students across academic disciplines. The initiative has been an integral part of the UN Global Compact since the inception of Prime in the year 2007. But in the turmoil of the past year with the pandemic, it has become clearer, more clearer than ever, that we need a new generation of capable, responsible business leaders to help build greater momentum for sustainable development. Today's young people will soon be the heads of companies, governments, and national and multilateral organizations. Many are already entrepreneurs, activists, and successful leaders in their own right. And that is why institutions of higher education are the perfect place to steep future leaders in models of business and governance that set a premium on protecting people and protecting the planet. We are truly living in unprecedented times, marked not only by the COVID-19 pandemic, but also by the interlinked global challenges of climate change, social and economic inequality, and racial injustice. And in these times, we have to think carefully about what responsible leadership really means. To build forward better from the pandemic, the business community needs an ambitious, coordinated international plan that is well aligned with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Paris Climate Agreement. Academia, and business schools in particular, must be at the table to develop such a plan and to ensure its success. So PRIME has a very important leadership role to play. You are certainly indispensable to the UN Global Compact as you work to galvanize bold, rapid progress on sustainability by businesses of all sizes and in all sectors. Building on the foundation of our 10 principles, which span human rights, labor, the environment, and anti-corruption, the new Global Compact strategy for the next 3 years calls for key shifts to boost business action and impact on the SDGs and the Paris Agreement. This shift is focused on enhanced business accountability, global reach, local flexibility, the importance of small and medium-sized enterprises, and the active engagement with our UN partners. To meet these strategic goals and ultimately to succeed in transforming business for the betterment of society, we need business leaders and managers who are ready and able to innovate solutions fit for the 21st century. So today, colleagues, I'm glad to stand side by side with PRIME colleagues as we work on uniting business for a better world. And Mette and all of you gathered here today, I look forward to even closer collaboration, beginning with this PRIME Global Forum, as you continue to provide vigorous thought leadership on responsible management education. I wish you all a successful convening. Thank you.